Good morning, everybody. Brian Vasquez here, Crack a Smile. I want to deliver my weekly message. Today I want to talk about living within your means. It's very simple, topic, but it's so hard for a lot of us to do because we're so infatuated or so worried about what the next man or woman has that we want to be continuously in keeping ourselves and our kids, up to date with everything going on. A lot of times I see stuff on social media or I hear friends talking, where they buy their son or daughter, such and such shoes or dress or, pants or whatever it is, and then the next week they're talking about how they can't afford it or they're looking for a sugar daddy or they're looking for somebody that, can help them out, and so I just sit there and laugh and think about, man, well, if you didn't buy a $160 pair of shoes and maybe you bought an $80 pair of shoes, $8 that you could have for your groceries or whatever it is. But in the end, what I'm trying to get at is when we talk about these things, a lot of times when we can't afford things or we feel like we're letting our kids down because we're not able to get them the nice things that they want, the reality is our kids don't love us because of what we buy them or what, we can do for them. They love you for the time you give them and the discipline and all the things that you show them, the stability and all that, that they know they can count on you, when they need something. And that may mean, hey, you know what, you can't get the 160 LeBron James, you got to get the $80, Kyrie's or whatever else is out there, on sale. A lot of times we're compromising ourselves and we're putting ourselves in these state of minds that we're the ones that have to worry about how we're going to pay our bills. When the lights are all shut off and you're thinking about the things that you were able to get somebody or your children, or your child, and then all of a sudden now you're thinking, man, how am I going to be able to afford this because I made this person happy. Now I'm the one that's going to suffer, or somebody else, because you might have more than one child, or there might be other people that are depending on you. The reality is it's okay to dim down what you're spending on individuals or yourself so that you can be able to afford other things. You put yourself in these financial binds, and a lot of times that cause you to go into, like I said, depression states, and also sometimes allow others to go do things that, they shouldn't do, break a law or something, just so they can provide for them. I was taught by a friend of mine. He always told me, man, if you can't afford to buy something cash, don't buy it at all. And I think about that, and in some ways, it's a perfect way of thinking, because the reality is that if you can't afford something, you shouldn't have it. You shouldn't buy these luxurious things or whatever. But then on the other hand, if you're trying to start a business or whatever, you might need some equity and different things like that. So I mean, it hits home, but also there are exceptions to the rule. So just remember, live within your means. You never know when a rainy day is going to come up. You never know if you're just driving your car down the road and you pop a tire or something goes wrong with your car. A lot of times we think because, everything's going well and something goes wrong, all of a sudden, we're just doomed or we're jinxed or whatever. But I don't know how many of you guys are out there that think that because you have a car, that has 80,000 miles, 60,000, whatever it is, that nothing's ever going to go wrong with it. You think you're just driving along and all of a sudden maybe an alternator goes out, your tire rod breaks, and it's the worst feeling in the world. But because you don't live within your means, you're not prepared for situations like that. You must always have a reserve tank. You must always think about the future and think about how are you going to be able to provide, because when you're doing that, you're also providing, stability mentally for the individuals that are looking up to you or your children. Allow them to see what they need to do when they get older so they don't continue this cycle of buying the name brand or buying the things that people want instead of the things that people need, and then having to sit there and wonder at night by themselves or crying or whatever it is, how they're going to provide or pay the bills, or how somebody else may suffer in their family because of that decision. So with that said, man, I hope everybody knows, take care of what is a necessity. You have holes in your ship, fill them up, because the more holes, it's going to keep sinking. So I thank you guys. I hope everybody has a great week. Continues to help us out. Continues to visit our website, www.crack-a-smile.net. We are continuously helping out our mentees and mentoring others to teach them these same skill sets that not only they may already have learned them, but they forgot about them. Or we're teaching them these new skill sets that are allowing them to walk out into a society where they can be productive and be able to live on their own and be able to handle situations. So with that said, have a great day. Thank you for your time, and make sure you guys crack a smile.